All right, if you're a federal contractor or just keeping tabs on veteran healthcare, you're going to want to listen up. The Department of Veterans Affairs is making a massive change to its dental care system, rolling out a brand new nationwide contract. We're about to break down exactly what this means, why it's such a huge opportunity, and what you really need to know.
So what's actually changing here? Well, this slide lays it all out beautifully. On the left, you've got the old way of doing things, this fragmented, kind of messy system broken up into different regions. And on the right, that's the future. A single, unified national network that's all about one thing: dental services. It's a huge leap towards making things simpler and way more efficient.
And this right here is the heart of the matter. By ditching the multiple regional contracts for one single national one, the VA is really trying to create a system that's more consistent and just easier for everyone. Think about it: less red tape, clearer lines of communication, and a much more predictable setup for veterans and providers alike.
So, why the big shakeup? This isn't just about shuffling papers around. No, the VA has some very specific, strategic goals they're aiming for with this whole new approach. Let's dig in. Here's the game plan. First, they want to boost the quality of care and make it easier for veterans to get appointments. They also want to slash all that administrative headache and bring costs down. And on top of that, they're hoping to stir up more competition for the contract itself and, really, to bring the whole system up to speed with how the rest of the industry does things. It's a total overhaul. Now, this quote tells you a lot about the VA's mindset. They're basically saying, hey, this isn't our first rodeo. They've done their homework, they've learned from past programs, and they're coming to the table with a really well-thought-out plan. They know what they want.
And this part? This is a really interesting shift. The VA is making it crystal clear they don't just want a vendor who can process claims. They're looking for a genuine, long-term partner, someone to help build, manage, and grow this national network with them. For any company thinking about bidding, that changes the whole equation.
All right, if you're a federal contractor seriously looking at this, you've probably got a ton of questions. So let's get into some of the key details, with answers pulled right from the VA's own documents.
First things first, let's talk about the money. It's a huge operational question for anyone bidding. Who's actually paying the bills? How does the cash flow from the government all the way down to the local dentists?
And the answer is pretty straightforward. The VA is the ultimate payer. The contractor who wins this will be responsible for paying the dentists in their network first. Then you turn around and send the invoices to the VA to get reimbursed. So yeah, managing that cash flow is going to be a huge piece of the puzzle.
Okay, next big money question: pricing. To put together a competitive bid, you've got to know the numbers, right? So is the VA going to lay all their cards on the table and show bidders the exact dollar amounts on the fee schedule beforehand?
And the answer to that is a hard no. The VA considers this information proprietary, so they're keeping it under wraps. Bidders will get to see the maximum allowable rates, but the final specific dollar figures? You won't see those until after a contract has been awarded. Now for another critical piece of the puzzle: forecasting. I mean, to build an effective network of dentists, you have to know how many veterans you'll be serving and where they are. So what kind of data is the VA providing to help with that?
So the VA is providing historical data, which is great. You get a solid look at past patient volumes. But, and this is a really big but, they are making zero guarantees about what those numbers will look like in the future. That means your proposal needs to be smart, based on those past trends, but also flexible enough to handle whatever comes next.
Okay, stop what you're doing and listen up, because this might be the most important part of this whole explainer: the deadlines. If you're even thinking about this contract, you absolutely cannot miss these dates.
And the VA could not be any clearer about this. There are no extensions, no exceptions, no excuses. If you miss these deadlines, your proposal won't even get a look, period. So get your calendar out and circle these two dates in red. January 30th, 2026. That's your last chance to ask any questions. Then, the big one, March 16th, 2026. That's when your actual proposal is due. And remember, that's for an IDIQ contract, which just stands for indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity. A flexible contract for services over a set period. And hey, pay close attention to those times too. They're not suggestions.
Look, this is a massive opportunity, but it's also incredibly complex. Trying to navigate an RFP this big can be a real challenge. So if you're a federal contractor feeling a little overwhelmed, just know there's help out there. For example, GDI Consulting is offering a free consultation call specifically to talk through this opportunity. Might be worth checking out.
So as we wrap this up,
It's pretty clear this is way more than just another government contract. It's a fundamental pivot in how the VA thinks about dental care for veterans. And you have to wonder, if this national model succeeds, could it become the new gold standard for veteran care across the board? It's a huge move, and you can bet we'll be watching it very, very closely.